a few minutes, maximum 2 minutes. Just give me a minute to connect my students on my WhatsApp group to the live class. Okay, almost ready. Almost ready. Okay, so I've sent the message to the students in the WhatsApp group. So we can now start. Okay, so today we are continuing with our class on volume and total surface area of solid shapes. So today we are focusing on cubes. So in our previous class, we looked at the volume of a cuboid and the total surface area of a cuboid. So today we are focusing on a cube. Nice to see you, Richard. You're welcome to today's class. Francis, you're welcome. So we are looking at the volume of a cube and the total surface area of a cube. So a cube is like a square, okay? For 2D shapes, we have square. For 3D shapes, we have cube. So just like a square that has all its sides equal, a cube is a 3D shape that has all its surfaces as square. So all the faces of a cube look like a square. Remember in our previous class we looked at faces of a 3D shape, vertices of a 3D shape, edges of a 3D shape. Okay, so if you did not join us for that class, you can go back to the YouTube channel and check for that class. Okay, so let's write what a cube is. A cube is a 3D shape. So when I say 3D shape, I mean solid shape. A cube is a 3D shape that whose faces are in the form of squares. So the faces of a cube are in the form of squares. The faces of a cube look like squares, okay? So let's look at an example. This is a solid shape, right? This is a solid shape. This is a cube. If you look at this surface here, all the sides are equal. So this face that you're looking at looks like a square. If I face this side, this also looks like a square. So each face of a cube is in the form of a square. Okay? So when you look at each face of a cube, they look like squares. When you look at the face of a cuboid, each of them looks like a rectangle. Okay. So I just brought this to help us identify the shape for those who cannot differentiate between a cube and a cuboid. Okay. In our previous class, I brought an object to show you how a cuboid looks like. Okay. So the formula for the volume of a cube, volume is equal to length to the power of 3. Length to the power of 3. Freddy, good evening. Nice to see you. So volume is equal to length to the power of 3. That means length times length times length. Remember, for a cuboid, the formula is length times breadth times height. The reason all the sides are different is because they don't have the same length. But for a cube, all the sides are the same. You can see here is the same as this side, and it's also the same as this side. So all the sides are equal, all the edges are equal, therefore you have length to the power of 3. Okay, Humble, nice to see you. Good evening. Good evening. Also, the total surface area of a cuboid, of a cube, total surface area is equal to 6 multiplied by L squared. 6 multiplied by L squared. Now, why do we have 6 multiplied by L squared? Each of these faces looks like a square, okay? And you know that the formula for a square is length times length. So that's why we have length square. Each area here, excuse me, each area here is length square because it looks like a square. And then if you count the number of faces, it's 6 faces. So that's why we have 6 length square. Okay? Remember, total surface area is the sum of all the areas of the surfaces or all the areas of the faces. Okay? So we have to know this. The volume of a cube is length cube. The total surface area of a cube is 6 multiplied by L squared. You might not need to put this parenthesis, but I just put it to explain the difference between what we have here and this 6. L squared represents the area of each surface or each face, and then 6 represents the number of faces. A cube has 6 faces. Okay. Daniel, good evening. Nice to see you. Good evening. Okay, so in less than a minute, we'll start doing some examples on this question. Start looking at some examples. Okay, let's continue. Example. Calculate the volume and total surface area of a cube with length 12 centimeter. Okay, so we're expected to calculate the volume and total surface area of a cube with length 12 centimeter. So let's focus on the volume first. The volume of a cube, as we have already said, is length to the power of 3. And we know that the length is equal to 12 centimeters. So volume is equal to 12 to the power of 3, which is the same thing as 12 times 12 times 12. Somebody should do that and give us the answer. 12 times 12 times 12. What do we have? Who is giving us the answer to the question? 12 times 12 times 12. $2,728. Is it up to 2,000? Or is it 2,000 or 1,000? Is it 2,000 or 1,000? Is it 2,000 or 1,000? 1,000, okay. 1,728. We have 1,728 centimeter cube. So that is the volume of this cube. That's the volume of this cube. Okay, correct. Next, we calculate the total surface area. Total surface area, the formula is 6L squared. 6 multiplied by L squared, which gives us 6 multiplied by 12 squared. And we know that 12 squared is 144. So what will be the answer? 6 multiplied by 144. 6 multiplied by 144. What's the answer? $864. So we have 864 centimeter square. So remember, it's total surface area. That means our answer is going to have a square, not a cube. Okay. So let's look at the next example. So there are some situations where you are given the volume and you are told to find the total surface area. There are also some situations you are given the total surface area, you are expected to calculate the volume. So we're going to look at such situation. Can we continue? I think we can. So another example. Okay. So let's look at this example. We are told to calculate the volume of a cube with total surface area equal to 1,176 square feet. So in this case, we are given the total surface area we are expected to calculate the volume. We know that volume is equal to length cubed. But in this question, we are not given the length. Therefore, we need to find the length and thereafter find the volume. So we know that total surface area is equal to 6 length square. Total surface area is equal to 6 length square. So since we know the total surface area, we can find the length. So 1176 is equal to 6 length square. So next we are going to divide both sides by 6. 1176 divided by 6 is equal to 6L squared divided by 6. 6 will cancel out 6. L squared is equal to 1176 divided by 6. What are you going to get? 1176 divided by 6. What will be your answer? Hello, Doris. Good evening. Nice to see you. 1176 divided by 6. What do you get? 1176 divided by 6. What do you have as your answer? Who is giving us the answer? $196. So L squared is equal to 196. So to get L, we do the square root of 196. What's the square root of 196? Square root of 196. What will multiply itself to give you 196? That should be 14, right? 14. So we have the length is equal to 14 feet. Okay. So now we know the length to be equal to 14 feet. We can now find the volume of this this cube. So the volume is equal to 14 to the power of 3. 14 times 14 times 14. 14 to the power of 3. What's it going to give us? Thank you for the likes. 14 to the power of 3, what's it going to give us? 14 multiplied by 14 multiplied by 14. Fourteen multiplied by 14 multiplied by 14. Okay, I'll just, it seems it's lagging a little bit from your end. So I'll just give the answer immediately. 2744, 2,744 cubic feet. Cubic feet. 2,744 cubic feet. Okay. So I like to give you guys a question to solve, and then we look at cylinder, volume, and total surface area of a cylinder. Volume and total surface area of a cylinder. So I want us to do two solid shapes today, and then in our next class we'll do two more solid shapes. Okay, let me wipe this off and then we'll continue. Okay, so try this out. Okay, solve this and give me the answer in 3 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes. Give me the answer in 3 to 5 minutes. Solve this question and give me the answer in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so solve this question and give me the answer. Four more minutes. Three more minutes. Two more minutes. Okay. What are we told to calculate? We are told to calculate the total surface area. Total surface area, not the uh, not the length. Total surface area. Good evening, Dana. Nice to have you in the class. 1 minute more. Congo, good evening, Benjamin. Congo Benjamin. (726 centimeters square). Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, another person got 726 centimeters square. Okay, let's confirm. Let's confirm. So we know that we are told to calculate the total surface area. Total surface area is equal to 6L squared. But we don't know the length. So we cannot calculate the total surface area directly. So we have to find the length using the volume. Volume is equal to L cubed. So now we know the volume is 1,331. It's equal to L cubed. So L is equal to cube root of 1,331. So if you use a calculator to find cube root of 1,331, you are going to get 11. So our length is equal to 11 centimeters. But our final answer is to calculate the total surface area. That's the target. So total surface area is equal to 6L squared. And now we know that our L is 11. So we have 6 into 11 squared. 11 squared is 11 times 11, which is 121. So we have 6 times 121. 6 times 121. So which will give us 726 centimeter cube. Sorry, centimeter square. That gives us the answer to this question. 726 centimeters square. That is the total surface area of this cube. Okay, so we've looked at cube. The next thing we're going to look at is cylinder. Let's look at cylinder. Don't know if we have enough time for that. Let's see. Let's try as much as possible. Let's look at that for cylinder. Okay.